teammate was sent to the gulag. They'll fight for a chance.
What did you go? Suck a dick.
You suck it. You're very angry.
Hostile dropping into the area.
Okay, someone's dropping in. Suck a dick. Yeah, love the roads.
Same
Take
guy.
that.
His voice coming too.
What do you say? Where? Oh, let's see. You suck a fat. You
They hate me so much.
What are they saying?
They keep telling me to suck it. What's going on, guys? Chameleon here. Today I'm going to show you the best class setup for the FARA 83 assault rifle. After the FARA was finally nerfed, the FARA took over the meta because it's super versatile, can be built for long range or even short to mid range, and a perfect complement to a double AR loadout or even a sniper support loadout. Basically, you can change up the FARA to fit however you need it, thanks to its versatility. And even with the Season 3 update, which included a slight nerf that just slowed down the strafing speed and maybe added only one extra shot at range to the TTK, it's still one of the best guns in the current meta. And with these class setups I'm about to show you, you're going to dominate your competition. I'll show you guys the long range build first and then a short range build right after. Do you guys like 1984 Verdansk or the previous version of the map? Leave me a comment below. But real quick before we start, please smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed to my channel with the notification bell on. And here we go, let's do this. First up, we have the muzzle. You want to set this to the GRU suppressor. This will give you sound suppression, vertical recoil control, increased bullet velocity, and effective damage range, while losing 25 milliseconds of ADS speed and some aiming stability. So sound suppression is super important for Warzone because if you don't have your gun silenced, then you'll appear on enemy radars every time you shoot, which will bring you lots of trouble. So the GRU will help you avoid all of that. For vertical recoil control, you get a 5% reduction in recoil, making it slightly easier to handle. With the increased bullet velocity, you get a 25% increase, bringing it from the base bullet velocity of 600 meters per second to 750 meters per second. And you also get a 10% increase in range. So combining all these pros together allows you to hit those long range shots with ease. And therefore, the GRU suppressor is the clear-cut best choice here to use for Warzone. Next up, we have the barrel. Since we're building a long-range FARA, you want to set this to the Liberator barrel. This will give you a 54% increase in bullet velocity, which is the most amongst all the barrels here, while the RPK, for example, only gives you half of that at 27%. So when you combine the Liberator with the GRU suppressor, we've now taken our base bullet velocity from 600 meters per second to 1155 meters per second. And that's just what we need for a long-range gun. For the underbarrel, well, first let's talk about the FARA's recoil. When the FARA first came out, its recoil was pretty rough. It went to the right and then diagonally to the left, making it really hard to control at long ranges. But after the FARA was given a buff, they made the recoil less crazy, and it became much easier to control and viable at long ranges. So which underbarrel should you use? Since this is our long range FARA build, you want to set this to the Spetsnaz grip. The vertical recoil of this gun won't be your problem. It'll be the initial recoil to the right that will throw you off. So using the Spetsnaz grip will help the most in dealing with that. For the ammo, you want to set this to the Spetsnaz 60 round mag. The default mag for the FARA only has 30 rounds in it, and that's not anywhere near enough for trios or quads, so you'll definitely need more ammo. This actually used to be labeled incorrectly as 50 rounds instead of 60, along with the 45 round mag as well, which used to be labeled as 40 instead of 45, but they finally corrected the labels to accurately show how much ammo you really get with each mag. One thing to also keep in mind is that the reload time is pretty brutal, which is why I prefer the 60 round mag, because you'll reload less since you have more ammo, and it's a long range build, so when you do have to reload, you'll most likely be far away from your enemies, giving you time to take cover for the reload or to switch to your secondary. Lastly, for the optic, this is usually preference based. The iron sights are pretty nice on this, so I tend to stick with those, but since we geared this build for long range, I would go with the axial arms or the SUSAT multi-zoom. Both are solid options. The SUSAT multi-zoom actually even shows less visual recoil than the axial arms. The main drawback to it though is that it'll increase your ADS by 79 milliseconds, and that can feel pretty slow, whereas the axial arms only increases your ADS by 17 milliseconds. So I would try both of these out and pick which optic works best for you and your playstyle. So this is the best class setup for a long range FARA build. However, the FARA can also be made into a close to mid range weapon as well. And for that class setup, you'll want to switch the Liberator barrel to the RPK barrel. You now won't need all the extra bullet velocity since you'll be in close to mid-range fights with this build. This will give you about half of the bullet velocity of the Liberator, but with about a 14% increase in range. Also, I would drop the optic. Again, you'll be in close to mid-range fights, so the iron sights will be solid for the range you'll be using this in. And instead, I would add on the KGB skeletal stock. This gives you an increase in ADS firing move speed, aim walking movement speed, and sprint to fire time, while losing hip fire accuracy. Those are 3 solid pros, and even though you take a big hit in hip fire, it's still worth it. Just try to avoid the point blank fights against SMGs or shotguns and you should be fine. Since the recoil isn't too bad, especially for shorter range fights, I would drop the underbarrel for the Serpent wrap. This will increase your ADS, which will let you keep the bigger mag equipped, because the ADS penalty of that will now be countered by the Serpent wrap, and somewhat offset. So this is the best FARA build for short to mid-range fights. My final thoughts on the FARA is that it's a fantastic gun. It is ideally going to be used as a sniper support weapon or even as an SMG to run in a double AR loadout, probably with the AMAX specifically. But either way, however you run it, it's going to be great, you're going to have a lot of fun with it, and it's perfect for the current Warzone meta. So that about wraps it up for this video. If this was helpful to you or you just enjoyed it, please smash that like button, make sure you subscribe to my channel with the notification bell on, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Here's Brent.
No.
Ah! Up here.
There's one up from behind.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Ah, you ran me over, Willie.
God, dude.
That's not the
I do not know how the fuck I just did that.
Behind.
Oh, you're a fat.
Nice.
yeah, dude.
He's going towards the loadout.
Damn it,
Oh,
you
man.
ahead of me.
I scared him into you, sir.
Thanks, Will. Down.
Yeah, they get third party.
Oh my god, bro. F off.
Yeah,
I'm coming up
okay.
in the wall there. Oh, he's going
Down.
away. Oh my god, shit.
Nice. Oh, ground level. Ground level. He's picking my stuff. He doesn't have anything.
I got an armor hit on him.
Nice.
One's over here. Oh! He didn't. Oh my god, dude. What the?
Oh,
My
dude
bad.
just got there, too. He's down.
Yeah.
Down. Team white claw.
Get there, you nerd.
He's a...
Never ping that guy if you can. There's two of them.
Go down.
Alright, you win this. That's it. Come on. Easy game, boy.
I looked at
Wow.
myself just for the game.
Oh, you did? You're so cheeky.
Dude, I almost died.
That means,
One down.
good shit, dude.
Down.
Good
Alright,
job.
I gotta.
Don't let him get away. Don't let him get back into the first one. Yeah. Oh, dang. Overkill.
Yeah, a bit excessive.
That's not fair, Yusuf.
Very little time.
One left guy. Turn around.
Oh, we're done. We're done.
They're up.
In the lobby?
Yep. And city council's full of people too.
Oh, someone's here.
Two of them up there.
Bathroom.
Where?
Alright, I'm coming.
Oh, God. Oh, okay.
I knew he was gonna chase me because he crashed. Stupid.
If I throw Semtex, does it only hurt me or can it hurt both of
Yeah,
us?
only you.
Yeah,
Only you.
Parrot, throw it. I'll
So then
tell me
make
when.
it climb up while you throw it.
Alright. Go. I got a shield. Nice.
That was great teamwork. He's probably so.
We're out of air. On the top of the YMCA here.
Oh my gosh, right here around the corner.
How many?
Just go 3 more.
I'll get.
He's off.
RTB for resupply. Enemy down.
I got my most.
Another one here.
There's 2. Get behind me, Kyle. Damn.
Who are you guys? What's going on?
I think we have a bot lobby.
What the?
No, you dude, they're on the UAV, dude!
I got one down. Two down.
What the hell?
Teammates in the gulag. If they survive, they can redeploy. Mark the target.
Wow, that went poorly.
I suck.
Me too.
I got down 2 times very quickly by that full sniper. Dude! F you.
This street sweeper nerf is real, by the way. I turned that down the guy like 10 meters away.
Another one in the bush.
Behind you,
bush,
dude. On
left,
top of the hill. On top of this rock.
I got a guy on me.
Contact!
You got right now. There's 3 in here.
He used the buy. Down.
Yet again.
He goes yet
What'd he
again. He's having a bad day. I think I know.
Oh, now I gotta
didn't either.
Get down. Good. Oh, we got a chopper coming.
Yep.
Full squad. One's down.
That one.
Nice, dude. Great
Yeah,
shooting.
he's in the air, I
Quite
see
a
him.
bit.
Enemy spotted.
Copy that.
Crack.
Dude! Look at you killing it with the fire. Dude, thank you. That's the guy who killed me.
He might be upstairs.
Oh, he's at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Damn you!
He's poking out.
Like
He's
third
cracked.
floor?
He dead.
You
Nice.
Yeah. Nice shot, dude.
What is
Gas moving in.
he down?
Third floor.
Okay.
I killed him. Nowhere near you coming up.
This dude's a fucking can't. Oh,
He thinks I'm youth.
Enemy
He
overhead.
goes, this dude's a fucking camper.
Be ready to fight.
Down.
Fire shield?
What?
Fucking tires, and they're not even on cinder blocks. They're just on rocks.
Cracked. He's down.
I got two of them.
Got one more
Are they
outside. He's
both
pushing you. He's
right?
cracked.
Nice.